They actually even wanted to limit the amount of times you could say the word bra in the episode.
She hooks up with Ethan Kraft. So this was revealed. I always thought this, and it always...
Welcome to Posh and Plastic, the Y2K nostalgia podcast. Here's Amber and Kylie.
Wind up, wind down, and let's hit rewind.
Welcome back to Posh and Plastic. I'm Kylie, and this is your other host, the Corey to my Sean, Amber. We'd like to welcome you to season 2 of the podcast, and I know we are only a few months in, so why are we starting a new season? We really needed a revamp.
Yes. So we kind of felt like we were coming to report rather than having a conversation with each other. And after we kind of started editing and watching back how it all looked, it seemed like Kylie and I are not friends. We're acquaintances at best. And we're besties. So we want to show you guys that more. So we remodeled. We have a new format that we feel it's going to be more conversational for you guys. You'll kind of see how we talk to each other versus us kind of reporting not only to you guys, but to each other.
Yeah, and it's also, we feel like it's kind of hard for you guys to digest like 2 topics. So from now on, instead of me doing the 90s and Amber covering the 2000s, we're just going to pick one topic from the era and we're going to talk about it. That way it's more digestible and you can see we are friends, not coworkers.
I swear, I promise you guys, we are actually friends. We've also got some new things in store for you guys, which you'll see kind of as we start diving into the episode, and we'll explain them as we go, of course. So get in, loser. We're going time traveling.
So this has been a wild week for us in like 2000 celebrity news. Like, first of all, let's talk about Vanessa Hudgens.
Yes. Wait, didn't she debut her pregnancy at, what was it, the Oscars?
Yeah, the Oscars. She showed her belly.
Oh my God. And she had a belly, so she's got to be like, what, 5 or 6 months pregnant at this point?
Possibly, yeah. She's been holding it for a while then, so we're really happy. I don't think we said it all loud. Vanessa is pregnant.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
We're just, talking about it. So she revealed she is expecting a baby, so we're super happy for her. She's so cute.
Oh my God. She's going to be such a great mom. I'm so excited for her. There was something you were going to mention to me that was like going on this week that I had no idea about. So tell me.
There's some drama in the Cyrus family too. There's rumors flying around. So Miley, her mom got married. I don't know if you knew that. She got remarried like last year.
Mhm.
And the drama with that was that only Brandy and Miley were there. I think Trace would have been there too. But I don't know. He was the one that was in Metro Station.
Okay. So there's Trace, Brandy, Noah, and Miley. There's 4.
And then there's another boy who's not in the industry. I forget his name, but there's another son who's in between Miley and Noah.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so that boy and Noah apparently do not speak to their mother. They're kind of team Billy Ray, whereas Brandy, Trace, and Miley are team Tish. Brandy and Trace are actually not Billy Ray's biological kids.
Oh.
Fun fact? Yeah. So, but Miley obviously is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently we found out the reason Noah wasn't at her mother's wedding. She's saying that she previously dated this guy.
Oh, you know what? I did see something about this. Okay. I didn't know if this was the same drums or not. I did see something about
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's just wild, like, the age difference on that. And, like, I don't know. They're saying she's exaggerating, so I don't know the story. It's crazy, though. Like,
I mean, enough that the fact that you could even have the type of story where it's like your mom is married to somebody you potentially dated, that's already crazy enough.
But it's so weird because I listened to the episode of Call Her Daddy that had Tish and Brandy on.
Yeah.
And loved it. I love them. But Tish was like telling the story about how she met him, and like it was all on Instagram DMs, and like he reached out to her, but she was still married to Billy Ray. And then when they broke up, she reached out to him. It did get read. Like there was this whole story behind like how like they ended up together. So it's really bizarre that somewhere in that timeline Noah was talking to him or hooking up with him. I don't know.
What does dating mean to Noah, right? Like, were they dating or were they
True.
like friendly and she thought that was something more? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't. That's we
it
don't have
seems
the whole
bizarre.
story,
Yeah.
but my thing is like I feel like Miley always has a good head on her shoulders,
Hmm.
even when she's wild. That's just who she is. But like I don't know. I feel like she's not ashamed of who she is, and so if there was some drama with Noah, like she probably wouldn't have supported that marriage.
That's a good point. Yeah, I agree with that because her and Noah were really, really close at one point. Are they still close
No, they
as
don't
siblings?
speak.
So they don't speak either. I know she doesn't speak to the mom.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like fully divided. But anywho,
Anyway,
so we're going to add just some little bits and pieces in our new podcast formatting, and one of them is a game. So it's called New Phone Who Dis. We're going to give each other, we're going to take turns each week. We're going to give each other a quote, and it could be like a song lyric, it could be a quote from a show or a movie or something that someone who's iconic said, and the other one has to guess it. And so at the beginning of our episode, we're going to give the quote, and then by the end, the other person's going to guess it, and that'll give you guys time to think about it as well. So Amber is going to give us our first quote. So
oh,
go ahead.
who said, I've spent $40,000 on shoes and I have no place to live? I will literally be the old woman who lived in her shoes.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna need the whole episode. It sounds familiar, but okay. But anyway, Amber, what have you been binging this week?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so a lot of things. I actually have the two main ones, which the first one I feel like you're going to feel me on. The second one you're going to be like, huh? But the first one, Love is Blind. Anything Love is
Oh
Blind
my god,
content wise.
yes. Oh my god. You
So,
guys, I was pressing her for weeks. I'm like, you have to watch Love is Blind. Please, please, I need someone to talk to about this. And she wasn't. And then Eric finally got her to watch it. And she's like, oh my god, I'm sucked in. And then she's like, I think we're going to let this be a slow burn. And I'm like, no, I'm dying. I need to talk to you about this. And then eventually she's like, nope, we're just going ham.
it was so worth it. No, I'm so glad you brought me on because my entire social media is like flooded with it. And if I didn't know what was going on, I'd be freaking out. But no, yeah, so I'm definitely binging all Love is Blind content, but also randomly, I don't know why, the show Victorious from Nickelodeon. That was from like,
Okay.
yeah,
I've seen it. I think we were like college age when that came out, but I remember like randomly watching it if I was like house sitting or something, and I didn't hate
yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, it was super cute. We were definitely like 17, 18, possibly even closer to 19. I don't even care.
Yeah.
It was campy, it was cute, had old Ariana Grande. But what are you binging this week?
So it was my husband's birthday this weekend, and so it was on Friday, and he took the day off, so we just made the big 3-day weekend celebrating him, and we have been binge watching some Jackie Chan movies and some Jason Statham movies. So that has been what I've been binging. And then in my free time, of course, Lizzie McGuire.
Aw, shout out. And by the way, happy belated birthday. He's in my
Yes, happy
calendar. I
birthday,
forgot to
Liz.
text him.
Yeah, so went in that Walmart $5 bin, and I found the Rush Hour movies like 3-in-1, and then I got a new Jason Statham movie that was in there. So
Nice.
it was raining this weekend, so
Oh.
wasn't much to do. So we just binge watched some movies.
Also, shout out, was the cake that I saw on your Instagram story, was that homemade? Did you make that?
Yeah, so yeah, this was on my personal Instagram, but I made an ice cream cake I swear, every year it like gets more and more elaborate of what he wants for his birthday cake. But I always rise to the occasion. So it was actually really easy to make. It's a lot of freezing. So I took about 4 days to make it, but
Oh, wow.
it's not like a bunch of labor. It's like a bunch of freezing. So things have to freeze for 12 hours or whatever. So that's why it takes so long. But it's
Okay.
really easy to make. Well, as you guys know, today's topic is one of the most beloved shows of ours, Lizzie McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire is an American teen television series that was created by Terri Minsky. The series premiered on Disney Channel on January 12th, 2001, and it was as a special sneak preview, and it followed the premiere of Xenon the Sequel. Throwback.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is I don't remember it being like right after that movie specifically, but I remember it being set for Friday night or whatever to premiere. And somebody accidentally hit play before that day, and I happened to be watching it that time. And Lizzie just randomly came on, and I was like, is this a longer commercial? Like, what is this? And I got to watch the whole episode.
Oh my god. That is badass. No, I don't remember my first time watching it, like, officially, but that is beyond badass that you basically, like, they made a boo-boo and you were just at the right place at the right time. The series concluded after 3 years on February 14th, 2004, after totaling 65 episodes spread over 2 seasons. For the 65 episodes, that it sounded about right to me. I didn't realize it was only 2 seasons, which I guess it didn't matter because it was running on TV.
Yeah. Like on Disney Channel, I don't think they ever took breaks like between seasons. Yeah. It was really weird.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I would, not until later shows, I guess, did a season really matter because they could run it like annually and stuff. And they had so many shows. I guess at this point they didn't. So it was like, it just kept going.
Yeah.
So the series itself was nominated for 2 Emmy Awards in 2003 and 2004 for Outstanding Children's Program, and the pilot episode received a nomination at the Writers Guild of America. Of course, the series was also nominated for a number of awards at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards from 2002 to 2005. The series follows Lizzie McGuire, a 13-year-old girl who faces regular personal and social issues of teenage years alongside her best friends, Miranda and Gordo, at her junior high. Episodes depict Lizzie's transition into adolescence at home and school, including her friends' rivalry with their classmate Kate and affections for Ethan. Lizzie tries to develop her own identity, but is also attracted to the idea of popularity at school and longs for social acceptance among her peers. Lizzie shares a close relationship with her family, her mother Jo, her father Sam, and her younger brother Matt, and Lizzie's inner thoughts and emotions are conveyed sporadically in the episodes through her animated persona, who sometimes speaks directly to the audience. Go ahead and say your thoughts, and then I'm going to say something silly.
That really was what made this show stand out, is that we're getting her inner monologue, which some shows do, some movies do, but we got an animated version of it, which was really different.
It's almost kind of like confessionals in reality shows, like for anyone who watches, it was basically like that was what that was for us. It was a cutaway. That was something that wasn't really happening in shows, like you said, around this time. So it was really innovative to give that second layer of opinion, essentially.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say something dumb. I said the word sporadically, and it just always makes me think of Clueless.
Oh, oh, we need to cover that one too. The main character, Lizzie, is portrayed by one of our queens, Hilary Duff. Before Lizzie McGuire, she starred as Wendy in Casper Meets Wendy. Lizzie McGuire was the show where Hilary had her big break in Hollywood. Essentially, she was playing herself, which is why it worked so well for her. And it's also why people were able to relate to her character so much and fall in love with Lizzie.
Yeah, and it's so funny that you say that because I read somewhere while I was doing research as well, and I found that they said basically a lot of the episodes were curated off of things that Lizzie would tell the producers and writers about her life, and it kind of mimicked things that were happening. So her clumsiness and things like that. She said those were things that were happening, and they kind of incorporated that into the show. So I think that definitely made it successful in a sense that that was for girls, it was easy to relate to.
Yeah, and that's why the show was impactful for me, because I was in 4th grade when it came out. So I was like 8 or 9. And it was helping me prepare for adolescence, like hitting puberty, but also going to middle school, because that's a nightmare. But like in 4th grade, I remember my friend was like the first girl of our grade to get her period. I didn't even know what a period was. And so like having Lizzie, like the whole bra episode, like all of that, like learning about what I'm about to go through, but in a comical way.
I definitely agree. I think the impact was the fact that she was a relatable teen. I mean, 13 was teen, but and us being tweens, kind of looking up to her and like seeing what the expectations of things through life were. And I think what was, I think was most impactful is we were watching it through somebody who was making mistakes. Whereas maybe like if we had seen it through Kate's eyes, where she was the popular girl who everything was perfect, maybe it wouldn't have hit the punch as much for us because that's not as relatable per se. So I feel like you said, she's a cute girl who's having like cute little girl who it's like, wow, like she's having the same problems that I'm going through or will go through in life. So I think that's important for girls to have some kind of a role model who's trying to do the right thing, you know? And I feel like the show had lessons at the end of every episode too. So it was kind of like it kept you in line to think about the right thing to do. So I think that's impactful for like young women as well.
Absolutely. So hats off. Thank you to both Hilary and Terri Minsky for
Yeah.
creating this.
So we have Hilary Duff, who plays Lizzie McGuire. We had Lalaine, who played Miranda Sanchez, who was one of Lizzie's best friends. Adam Lamberg, who plays Gordo, aka David Gordon. Diggy Brown knows with a hidden agenda, who was also Lizzie's other best friend, who was also crushing on her from, I don't know if you want to call it afar, but from the side. We had Jake Thomas, who played Matt, Lizzie's brother. We had Hallie Todd, who played Joe, Lizzie's mom. We had Robert Carradine, who played Sam, Lizzie's dad. Ashley Brilliot. Is that how you say it? Brilliot?
I have no idea. I've
We're going to go
always
with
wondered.
that. And why am I saying Brilliot? Like I'm becoming like British randomly. Kate Sanders. We've got Clayton Snyder, who was Ethan Kraft, our friendly, popular jock. Kyle Downs, who played Larry Tudgeman, our stereotypical geek who was into Star Trek and had bad hygiene. Yeah, I mean, he definitely made me play into the fact that I was probably thinking I'd never end up with a guy who likes Star Trek or Star Wars. Shout out to my life now. I'm 5 years deep with a guy who likes both. And then we've got Christian Copeland, who plays Lanny, who I always forget his name, poor Lanny. I think it's because there's Larry and Lanny. It's Matt's best friend, one of them, who just he never speaks. He makes a lot of like hand gestures and he'll like, but he never has any expression on his face, which I think was the craziest part. I think it's so funny how he was able to act like that, like stoically.
Yeah, he didn't give anything away, but somehow Matt knew what he was saying.
Yeah. I loved it. And then we also have Carly Schroeder, who was Melinda, our evil queen, who was another one of Matt's friends slash, what would you call her? Commanders.
Well, she was like his girlfriend, but like just told him what to do and like used him to her benefit. Like wasn't a real friend or whatever, but he was like in love with her for it.
You know, though, but it was classic, like chaotic got boy energy, right? Like the girl's being mean to me and she's like causing chaos. He's like, I want to be close to that. So obviously. And then to round out our characters, we've got R.V. Lowe Jr., who played Mr. Digg, who was our recurring substitute teacher for Lizzie.
Yeah, this was the first role I had known him in, but going back, he did a little bit of Sister Sister and Smart Guy too.
Oh, you're right. Now that you mention it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to like watch it in that order. Yeah, each episode of Lizzie really held its own towards the end of the series. There were a few episodes that weren't really necessary. However, for the most part, each episode was iconic in its own way and had memorable one-liners and had a wholesome message for the tween viewers. The few I have here, we've got Here Comes Aaron Carter.
Oh.
It was season 1, episode 7. Lizzie, Gordo, Miranda, and Matt sneak out and they sneak onto the set of Aaron Carter's music video while he's in town. And what they don't know is that Lizzie's dad was planning on surprising her with passes to the video shoot. And the episode follows the kids' antics as they're trying to avoid security and find Aaron.
Oh, I remember this one so like vividly, and I didn't realize how soon in the series it came out. Like it was literally episode 7.
Yeah, and they were dating, Hilary and Aaron.
Oh my god, I forgot. Yes.
Yeah, then we had Misadventures in Babysitting, which was season 1, episode 8. I literally just watched this one yesterday, and I got my husband to watch it with me.
Oh.
But after finding out that Kate babysits while she still gets babysat, Lizzie protests to her parents that she is ready for the responsibility. However, Matt is a challenge, even with the help of Miranda and Gordo. And then the power goes out. Someone's trying to break in at the same time, but little do they know it's their untrusting dad who's outside just getting all sorts of hurt.
Oh my gosh, yes. And then she basically is doing all the tactics that he taught her to do to not let him in the house, and he's just trying to get in his own damn house.
Yeah. Straight up Home Alone, too. This one is iconic to me. It's Clueless. It was season 2, episode 22.
Mm-hmm.
This is the murder mystery episode. So Lizzie holds a murder mystery party at her house with all of her friends and family. I love a good murder mystery, whether it's a movie or a game I'm playing, whatever. I'm obsessed. But this also was iconic because it did have a good majority of the characters, minus the teachers. Like you had like Faruga in there, Larry, Kate, Ethan. We even had Ethan's stepmom in that one. And then also, this is where we first see Gordo really considering his feelings for Lizzie.
That makes sense because this is kind of getting later into the series, right? So they're getting kind of older, so they're...
Yeah, so he's starting to understand his feelings when she's around. Another good one, I got Rhythmic, season 1, episode 5. Lizzie discovers her talent of rhythmic gymnastics during PE and leans into it. And of course, this causes Kate to become green with envy and try to sabotage her at a tournament. Lizzie is iconic for always being just the average girl, but we all have unique talents that make us stand out, whether we realize them or not. And this was an important aspect for the character of Lizzie because it shows that side to her. And she decided she didn't want to pursue this because it wasn't fun for her. And her parents just supported that. And I think that was really important for kids to see.
Yes. I will say, I'm sorry, I'm going to go, again, silly. I always go silly when I probably shouldn't. But the routine that she does, the way that they like edit it and make it look like so iconic, and how we were so like, oh my god, she's being so iconic,
Yeah.
but she's literally just
when
jumping
it's all
around.
Eyes on you.
And I just remember, and it's literally like, if you go back and watch it now, she's literally just basically jumping in place and kind of like swaying around. And it's like, you know what, fine, you get it, girl. Like, we love that for you. But like, I remember being like, wow, she's so cool. I want to be a part of Color Guard. Like when I was like 9, 10.
We all got those ribbons and started swirling them though.
Well, do you remember when they came out into gym class with them and you were like, it's my moment to shine?
Oh man. And we also have Gordo and the Girl, which was season 1, episode 19. Gordo starts dating his science partner, and Lizzie and Miranda are weirded out by it. And then they discover that this mysterious partner is a popular girl who is friends with Claire. And this girl's name is Brooke. So they don't really trust it. They don't know what her motives are. So they go to spy on their date. Miranda dresses as a boy, and it gets really messy. But this one was iconic because we get Kyla Pratt playing Brooke.
Love her so much. I love when they crossed over like people who did other shows like on Disney and just popped them in as like little cameo characters. That was my favorite. Oh my gosh. Okay. So,
A little bit cunty.
so basically I got 2 Urban Dictionary definitions for you guys. We've got the word cunty, which is a word used to define something that is very bad bitch-esque, fierce, and cool. We're already there. RuPaul's Drag Race, we have serving cunt, which is to say something is amazing or fantastic. We also have the acronym for the word cunt as well, which it stands for culture, unique, nerdiness, and talent. For this week's cunty moment, we chose the episode from season 1, episode 12, called Between a Rock and a Bra Place. Essentially, what happens is Lizzie and Miranda, they're after gym class, everyone's changing, and they're noticing that a lot of the girls in their grade are getting bras and they're starting to act differently. Their personalities are shifting, they're becoming more confident, they're being maybe a little bit meaner. They basically decide that it's time for them to get bras too. They're 13, it's time. And so they devise a plan to essentially get Lizzie's mom to drop them off at the mall so they can go handle their secret mission. And a lot happens, but obviously, I think the cuntiest moment of the episode is when they're trying to convince her that they're going for school supplies. And finally, Lizzie just blurts out, I want a bra, okay? We want a bra.
Oh my God. And like Gordo is there and he's like, what school supplies do you need? What project? I'm in all of your classes. And then when she said that, he's like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, well, it's so funny because she goes, well, you're not in my gym class. Secret gym class project. This was such a good episode. And honestly, so yeah, then they go to the mall and I felt for them after she, like, because we all know the iconic, like, tell your mom off, like, I don't need your help, like, you're embarrassing me. But when they then went back, they're like, A cup, B cup, 32, 36. I was like, they were like, I don't get it. I'm like, girl, me neither. Like, I still don't get it.
Yeah, that is just, I guess, if you don't work at like a Victoria's Secret, maybe that's what Victoria's Secret is. Like, what does that mean?
It really embodied the feeling of embarrassment as like a teen tween, like when you were trying to kind of navigate growing up, right? Because this was something that was like something you needed to, you were going to do, but you didn't know how to navigate that. How do you go about doing that? How do you get a bra? Like, how do you, like you said, talk about periods and stuff? It's like there's no manual for girls. So this felt relatable and kind of easy to, it was like a guide kind of.
So the show was filled with iconic, like both good and bad, like things are iconic, like especially looks. We had multiple looks that were served in the picture day episode. That's like when Lizzie, Miranda, and Gordo are on the phone discussing what to wear. We get the Oops, I Did It Again look, Shania Twain, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and all this leading to Matt going, Mom, Lizzie's talking about dressing like Britney Spears. And then like her parents race up. I wanted to mention a term she used during this conversation, hip huggers.
Oh, yeah.
What a term of the time.
Oh, you would never catch me dead in a hip hugger now at this point.
Nope. But yeah, then we see the outfit that ends up in the photo where she's got the white top covered in green paint, and then she lets the unicorn sweater make its appearance and shine. And then we had hair. Hair was always in different, unique styles. We had braids, pigtails, bangs, and filled to the brim with accessories, colorful rubber bands, barrettes, butterfly clips, and then, of course, hair scrunchies, because Ethan needs hair scrunchies.
And do you remember at this time too when you could go into Claire's and they would have the different fake hair with the fake colored hair also, and it was a ponytail and you could just like put it in your hair?
Yup. I feel like Miranda always rocked those.
I was gonna say shout out to Miranda for that.
One unfortunate look at the forefront of my mind is Kate's green hair in the pilot episode. Dye in the shampoo. Brutal.
Oh.
Kate had quite a few moments. Like in the night of the Day of the Dead, so the Halloween episode, which is season 1, episode 24, Kate is looking fabulous, honestly, as the vampiress. Like, I think she looks great. But then by the end of the episode, she's a hot mess. She's got chocolate cake and punch in her hair.
Poor girl.
Yeah. I feel like Kate always had stuff happening to her hair.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly, that was the thing.
Yeah, like on the episode where they are assigned to be married to each other, and like Miranda gets Ethan and Kate gets Larry. And she's like, "Now pour me some punch," and he's like, "Yeah, I'll pour you punch," and he pours it on her head. That
You're
poor girl
right.
always. Poor Ashley.
Oh my God, we feel for you. I see why you stopped acting.
There was also the time when Gordo got into like the Rat Pack jazz swing stuff, and he started dressing that way to be a hipster, and then it ended up being a huge trend, and he like hated it.
Mm-hmm. He was so against the grain. That's so funny.
And some hideous yet unforgettable looks were in season 1, episode 11, Bad Girl McGuire, when Lizzie starts taking influence from a burnout named Angel, and the hair was everywhere, every color, with piercings that just did not look good on Lizzie, and then she had a bad attitude.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't like that either. Didn't she have like black lipstick on and stuff too? Or maybe I'm just adding that to the mix.
Angel did.
Oh, okay.
And along with iconic looks, we also got iconic phrases from the show, like "Cooley" and "I'm outie."
As we know, the series also got a movie, the Lizzie McGuire movie, very iconic. But we're going to do a separate episode for the movie itself because I feel like we know the movie, it's iconic, and it deserves its own moment. So we're going to give that to you next week. So don't worry, stay tuned. But I will give a quick little tidbit, some of the logistics of the movie. So Walt Disney Pictures released the film based on the series Lizzie McGuire movie on May 2nd, 2003. Set after the conclusion of the series and her junior high graduation, the film follows Lizzie and her classmates to a school trip to Rome, Italy. And the movie itself earned $42.7 million in the US box office and $12.8 million internationally for a total of $55.6 million worldwide. So,
wow.
Pretty well.
Yeah. So make sure sometime this week you rewatch it. It's available on Disney Plus, or if you have it on DVD, whatever, rewatch it, and then we'll be back next Thursday to go over that scene by scene.
Yes. And it's worth the rewatch too, because when we watch it again, I mean, not that it never is, but it's only about an hour, 15, 20 minutes minus the credits. So it's a short watch. It's like watching an episode of like Survivor or something. So like you guys can squeeze it in.
And then in 2019, the show was set for a reboot to air on the new streaming platform at the time, Disney Plus, with pretty much the entire cast returning. So like everyone was excited. We saw photos of the cast on set. They were really happy to be bringing these characters back, and they were going to do like an adult telling of the show. So both cast, crew, and fans are excited. Unfortunately, there was a difference in opinions between the Disney Corporation and the creators of the show. Hilary Duff wanted Lizzie to portray a realistic 30-year-old, and so did Terri Minsky. So Disney wanted to make this family friendly, and I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they ended up firing Terri Minsky off of the project, which how are you going to fire the creator? And then Hilary even asked for the show to be moved to Hulu so that we could target an older audience appropriately. Because let's face it, this show was for the adults that grew up with Lizzie, not current kids.
Yeah.
And Disney wouldn't budge and crushed our hopes and dreams. So Hilary went on to do How I Met Your Father, which unfortunately was recently canceled, but it kind of was like an instead of, and they did tie Lizzie into that. There was an episode, a Valentine's Day episode, and they're going around talking about their like first, and it goes back to her with Ronnie. And it goes back to the scene where she's like, "No, you hang up. No, you hang up." So it was kind of wild to see them actually play a scene from Lizzie McGuire in How I Met Your Father. Back in January of this year, a writer for the show, Jonathan Hurwitz, blessed us on TikTok and revealed exactly what we're missing out on from what the show could have been. So we were supposed to meet back up with Lizzie at 30 years old, and she's just moving back in with her parents because she found out her fiance was cheating on her. At the end of the first episode, she hooks up with Ethan Kraft. Like, seriously, my heart. This is the Lizzie we, the fans, wanted, but that's not what we got.
No, I'm still mad about this because, I mean, just for example, around the same time, Nickelodeon had a reboot of their show iCarly that they did an adult version of as well. And I believe it was on Paramount Plus, if I'm correct. Um, again, why couldn't Disney do something like that? Like they did, just move it and have the mature network that could take on something like that. Like, I don't see why they couldn't do that. I will say, circling back to the bra episode, when I was reading up on that episode and like different iconic things from it, supposedly Disney did not want to air that episode, period. Like, they wanted nothing to do with like anything that could be like over sexualizing of women. And Hilary pushed back and said, like, this is a real life like moment that happens for women. Like, this, you can't be talking about the trials and tributes of a teenage girl without bringing into like real things that are happening. So
Right.
to know that they wouldn't even have done that episode, I can't imagine, them even budging for the mature episode, essentially, or series. They actually even wanted to limit the amount of times you could say the word bra in the episode.
She said it quite a bit.
I know, thinking back, I'm like, actually, they didn't do that because she says it like at least 10 times.
But I think it also broke the stigma for us girls watching that, because she says it, I think specifically saying it so many times, it wasn't an awkward word anymore. Because I do remember, like, bra
Yeah.
was kind of like the mindset, and she says it so many times, it's like, oh, it's okay, it's a bra.
You're
like, I
right.
could just straight up say that now.
Yeah, I agree. And again, like, that shouldn't be something that we should be ashamed of. Like, you're getting a bra, that's not over sexualizing. If anything, but the stars, where are they now? So we have Hilary Duff. We know that she was doing most recently How I Met Your Father. And we also found out that she's recently pregnant with is it 4 or
Her
5?
fourth baby.
And she is married to Matthew Coma, who we stan, especially recently.
Yeah, he just got a vasectomy, so no more kids for them. But like, oh my god, I told Amber this past week, I'm like, you have to follow Matthew Coma right now. He is out here being wild. Like, first of all, he's like giving play-by-play of what he's going through with his vasectomy. It's hilarious. But also, he in his recovery is binge watching Love is Blind and DMing these people. They're responding.
That was my favorite part. I was like, he is not DMing these people directly.
And then I love that he messaged Joe Biden and Michelle Obama. And
Yeah,
like, are
you watching this shit?
And then Michelle responded.
I was like, she is everything for responding. So good.
Michelle never disappoints.
Oh my gosh. So that's what's going on over there. But yeah, he definitely, even now, he's still silly. Honestly, he's worth the follow for his stories in general because he's just a silly, funny guy. And he honestly gives me Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds vibes, but like even sillier. And then we've got Lalaine. So after playing Miranda on Lizzie McGuire, she continued to pursue an acting career. She ended up featured in a number of movies, such as Her Best Move in 2005, Easy A in 2010, which I don't remember her being in Easy A.
It's a very quick cameo at the end of the movie. It's at the very end of the movie. That's the only movie I knew she was in after Lizzie. Other than that, You Wish.
She kind of took a break from 2010, and then she pops back up again in 2018 for One Night Alone. Her most recent role was in a movie in 2020 called Definition, Please. Then next we've got Adam Lamberg. After playing Gordo and starring in the Lizzie McGuire movie, Adam starred in a couple of more movies throughout the 2000s, but he put a pause on acting and he actually decided to attend the University of California at Berkeley, where he earned a degree in geography, of all things.
Oh, Golden Bears. That's where Nicholas went.
Oh, cool. Shout out. And now he just does fundraising and special event consulting in New York City. So sounds like he's having a good time living his best life. Robert Carradine, or Dean, I'm not sure that's how to pronounce it, but he played Lizzie's dad, Sam. And after the show ended, he appeared in some roles in Django Unchained, Law and Order, Criminal Intent and Doubt, and he also hosted King of Nerds from 2013 to 2015.
Oh, yeah, because in the 80s, he was in the movie Revenge of the Nerds. So it's probably a nod to that.
Then we have Jake Thomas, who played Lizzie's brother, and after Lizzie McGuire, he appeared on a slew of episodes of different shows, such as Cory in the House. I wrote him being in Cory in the House.
Yeah.
Cold Case, Ghost Whisperer, Criminal Minds, House, NCIS, CSI New York, SWAT, and, et cetera, et cetera.
He also has a podcast with Davita Williams, who plays Claire and Lizzie McGuire. And it's a rewatch podcast. So it was only for like a quick minute, maybe like 10 episodes or so, and they kind of go out of order, so they get like the iconic episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting to listen to.
And then so now Jake Thomas, he's just a he's also a photographer. How about photographer?
Photographer.
Why can't I say words? He's a photographer, director, and voiceover actor. Talk about jack of all trades. Clayton Snyder, who played Ethan on the show, our heartthrob, and he went on to attend Pepperdine University, where he also played water polo, as he should when you look like that, obviously.
Yeah, that's very fitting for him.
Right? He also since appeared on NCIS, Rules of Engagement, and a few other shows. He now lives a pretty normal life where he works as a realtor, and he's married to Allegra Edwards as of October 2020. And then, best for last, we've got Ashley Brilliant, who played Kate as the resident popular girl, aka Mean Girl at the school. She ended her acting career after appearing in the Lizzie McGuire movie, and she went on to earn a law degree from the University of Denver, and now she is a criminal defense attorney, as well as she's now married and has a daughter as of 2015.
No, low-key, I found her on LinkedIn one time. Like, she's legit. To think, like, to be a defense attorney, that's hard.
Yeah. The criminal defense, that's like top-notch, like, attorney.
Yeah. Hats off to her.
For real.
We just have a few fun facts that we wanted to share. So, I've got to start off hot here with the Mandela effect. We love those around here. So, this was revealed. I always thought this, and it always bugged me. Okay, so the first time in the episode, I think it's the picture day episode, it's where Matt is faking sick and his mom figures it out and is like making him go through hell for the whole day. So when she goes to take his temperature, I swear to God, I remembered him having a penny in his mouth when she sticks the thermometer in. And that's when she catches him. She's like, oh, he's doing the penny trick. And then later, it was a flashlight he was using. And I was like, I swear to God, this was a penny. He revealed on the podcast I was mentioning, they actually had to go back and refilm that and change it because a kid tried it and got hurt and blah, blah, blah. So it was not a Mandela effect. They did have to go back and refilm it, and they just didn't mention it.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I remember that, and I'm thinking, yeah, that had to have been like a kid probably swallowed a penny or something. My fun fact here is that the show was actually not meant to be called Lizzie McGuire originally. It was called What Was Lizzie Thinking? And they actually didn't have in the original like discussions of the show the animated character for Lizzie. They had her thoughts, but not as an animated character. So that was something
so weird because when you say what's Lizzie thinking, I immediately think of the cartoon Lizzie.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, how else could you do it, I guess? I mean, I guess you could do it confessional style that we know now, but that wasn't something that was popular back in 2001.
Another fact, this series really helped launch the music career of Miss Hilary Duff because we all know her first single, I Can't Wait.
Yes.
And that was on the show's original soundtrack. So that was like exclusively used for the show.
And then, so my other fun fact here is that the role of Lizzie McGuire was not essentially just set to be Hilary Duff. Lindsay Lohan was actually in the running originally to be our Lizzie McGuire.
Ooh, I can see it, but it would be a little different.
I don't know about it.
she wouldn't be as clumsy and like quirky, but I could see her like,
yeah.
What I love about Lizzie is she's not always right. Towards the end of the episode, we see she realizes her mistakes and she fixes them. I could see Lindsay fitting for that part of Lizzie. It would definitely be a different show, but I could see her fitting in a role for a show like this.
I can see it, but it's hard because I feel Lindsay has an edge to her, and Hilary's just very like easily, it's more palatable, you know what I mean? Like Hilary's just more palatable, whereas Lindsay's kind of got that edge where it's kind of like, I don't know, she kind of gives me Hot Topic section in a limited too. I don't know. It's just like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know you don't, obviously, because it doesn't make sense.
Like, I could see her getting frustrated with Matt, and she could be like, "Oh, Matt!" Like, I don't know, with her scratchy voice, I could see that. Like, I don't know. I could see it as like she's not going to be. I don't want to say she's not going to be as cute because
that's what it is.
I love Lindsay, but
cute is the wrong. Yeah. It's not like, I guess, like soft. She's not as soft as Hillary. That's why I'm saying like edge and softness. Like, I don't think it could have worked as well per se like with Kate. I wonder how her interactions with Kate, I feel like she would have come back with more punch, whereas like Hillary was more relatable with the sense of like, yeah, some people don't know how to stand up to the bullies, and I feel like that was more, it made more sense. But I can see how, because Lindsay was popular at this time, that of course she's going to be like opted in for a role like this, but it definitely would have taken like a 90-degree turn for sure.
Okay, so we're gonna get into the burn book.
You let it out, honey. Put it in the book.
We asked on our Instagram a while ago for people to submit their stories, like good, bad, and the ugly, just like any memories if you need to get something off your chest, like a secret or just like something terrible that happened to you, or if you have like a really funny or just like good memory from back in the day, like elementary school, middle school, high school. Like, we're just going to talk about them. So our first comes from Brian. Said, when I was 2 or 3 years old, my twin brother and I ripped up a Thomas the Train book we checked out from the library. Don't ask. I don't know why we did it. All right. It was late at night and we were alone in our room. My dad found the book and knew he had to go pay for the book. I don't remember if he said anything to us or if he was mad at all. He took my brother and I to the library with him to compensate for the ripped up book. My brother and I were terrified of what was going to happen. For some reason, we had it in our heads that the librarian was evil and was going to go psycho at my dad. Reasonable, irrational fears.
Oh my God, too many cartoons.
Yeah, exactly. So what did we do? We grabbed a weapon to bring with us in case we needed to defend ourselves or our dad. What was that weapon? A toy screwdriver. Oh, God. Yes, a plastic fake screwdriver, but it was real to us. Looking back, it's kind of scary to imagine twins showing up to the library with the intent to be violent, but it's hilarious. You're right, too many cartoons.
Well, and I double down on that by when we had a plastic screwdriver. Like, calm down, Tommy Pickles looking ass.
For real. But yes. And just so you guys know, we're changing names. So Brian is not really Brian, but thank you, Brian, for sending in that. And feel free to send us in. You can DM us. You can email poshandplastic@gmail.com. However you want to do it. Let us know your stories. We'd love to share them on the podcast. But it is the final time, or final part of our new podcast layout. So go ahead and repeat the line. We're going back to New Phone Who Dis.
All right. So the line was, I've spent $40,000 on shoes and I have no place to live. I will literally be the old woman who lived in her shoes.
It's not Confessions of a Shopaholic, is it?
No, but that's a good guess. It was Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City.
Okay. It sounded familiar. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Posh Plastic. If you are listening on audio, please feel free to give us a rate and a review, preferably 5 stars. If you are part of our YouTube community, please give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Everyone, please subscribe so you guys can get new episodes as they come in every Throwback Thursday. Next week, we will be covering the Lizzie McGuire movie. So we will catch you then.
Bye, guys.